Houston Texans and the New York Giants. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Jordan Berry out to punt on 4th down. That's pulled in at the 32. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Texans will take over. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Quick throw caught by Godwin. On a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down. The Giants and the Texans last year, if you go by the numbers, the 2 poorest offenses in the NFL. The Giants 31st in total yardage, and the Texans dead last. They have 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come, we get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%. And I feel like I'm being generous.
Touchdown, Houston. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team? They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now Carr. The connection here with Nelson Agholor. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down. The Giants at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. And they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On play action, now Carr. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
He's got it complete to Agholor. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Folk's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. And what I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league, defenders sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about how they think so they can be in the right position, to be in the right spot, as he was there, to pick that one off and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And the lead is now 10-7. Following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. taken from about the 12. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And inside give to Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards, good for a Giant 1st down. Again, it's Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
From the gun, it's Carr. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he's got this down to the 35. 48 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's good for 28 yards.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Robinson. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Robinson again, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. James Robinson with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year, and the Texans have regained the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From his end zone comes Rico Dowdle. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll go again to Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Carr. Finding Knox there, complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Yeah, yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one
in. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Second half begins with a run by Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Robinson again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards, the final tally.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 63 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball-controlled football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Robinson will try to pick it up. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Now it's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
The kick by Elliott is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
On third down, Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will finish off this third quarter of play. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Dowdle going to take this one out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth. Jamin Davis, the one to get up from his linebacker spot and make that play. On 2nd and 12, Carr. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll try the right side with Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Carr going to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Robinson with another carry. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson being chased, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Robinson. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, this defense knows, they're well aware that they're down 2 scores, and they figure this is pretty much their last chance. They know if they give up a touchdown here, that ends it. Nice job on 1st and goal to push them the other way, but they have to be thinking takeaway right here.
Again, it'll be Robinson. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Ball at the 6, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Robinson. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. 3 straight runs now, and that defense is held.
Yeah, we often talk about how the low man wins, right? Who wins leverage at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just that leverage. It's leverage with power. Who takes the line of scrimmage and moves it one way or the other? Right now, I can imagine the defense yelling at the offense, hey, guys, if I were you, I'd kick it. You're not getting in.
Out to his left. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Giants are going to get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Second and 11. Robinson on a give right side. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. 5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. And they'll indeed take a knee. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Houston, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will head home for next week's contest. That is against Washington. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.